Okay, the cognitive slides for young adulthood, they start off with Piaget. The last Piaget that we talked about was the formal operational stage. In adulthood, hopefully you consolidate the formal operational thinking. So making hypotheses, testing them out, making plans. Again, though, it's theorized that some people never enter this stage. They don't get to the point where they make hypotheses and test them out. They just kind of go about life willy-nilly. That being said, also, some researchers think there's actually a stage above this called post-formal thought that includes several different thinking processes, include reflective, provisional, and realistic thought. For that first one, the reflective, it's kind of expanded reflective, relativistic, and contextual thinking. Basically, that you can reflect on your problems, you can think about them, and you can realize that problems are complex and that there can be many answers to a single problem. And that these problems are relativistic, meaning that the solution depends on the situation. So you might not use the same solution for a work problem compared to a home problem. As an example of this, so let's say you work at a medical billing place and you realize there are rules in place for a reason and you don't break those rules. But then at home, as a parent, you realize the rules might be a little bit flexible here and there and you might need to bend the rules at home, and so it depends on the context. At work, you're not going to bend the rules, but at home, you will bend the rules. And that's an example of this relativistic thinking. For provisional thinking, you realize that truth is a process. You don't just accept truths. And the search for truth is an ongoing process that goes throughout your entire lifespan. As an example, someone at this age, they might believe they found the truth, maybe in a romantic relationship. Oh, this is the one. This is the one person for me. Maybe it's a religious truth. This is the exact religion for me. But then that thinking evolves. That relationship, it turns out to not be the one. So maybe the next one's going to be the one. Or maybe that religious truth wasn't quite right, but now I think I'm going to get it. And so that's this idea that truth, it's like this ongoing process where you bring in new information and then change based on that new information. The last one is realistic thinking. So at this stage, you have the ability to think about abstract concepts, but also realize that there are times to be pragmatic and to use realistic problem solving. So example, let's say you're running a no-kill shelter and you're trying to save every animal you can. That being said, you realize that there are so many animals out there that you cannot save all of them. So you're going to be realistic and save the ones that you can. So that's the slides for the cognitive changes. On the next few slides, we'll talk about work in early adulthood.